All right, welcome once more. Um, we'll be doing a quick lab session once more. Here we'll be looking at improving network performance. This is version 1, version 2 is there. Okay, so first thing first, open this in a private window. That's the first thing. Let me increase the brightness of my screen. I don't know what's wrong with it. Okay. All right. So we sign in into Quick Labs. Of course, it's recommended you use a private window or incognito window to work with your Quick Labs sessions, and use your email that you use to register with the GATS program um, to do the labs so that you don't get to be charged for each lab. All right, so let me refresh this. My network apparently is misbehaving. Okay, so the lab is 45 minutes, so I'm guessing it's a quick one. Here the focus is trying to show how network performance is related to the number of CPUs you have um, provisioned for your um, project. Okay, let me read the overview. In this lab, hands-on lab, you get to read through some real-world scenarios, recreate the environment, and work on improving the performance of some troubled networks. What will be fun to try is comparing the different instances to each other, just like the troubleshooting use case, so you can prove the results and become familiar with the steps used to improve your own system's performance. Okay, so when picking out the CPU for your instances, when creating instances, the number of CPUs and types machine types and number of CPUs you allocate or provision will affect network performance, and that should be something you should be aware of the effects, and make arrangements to plan properly on how many CPUs you need to be able to attain the kind of network performance that you're expecting for your project. Okay, so so what we'll learn here: how to test network connectivity, how to inspect network traffic, using some open source tools, and how to size your machine, how the size of your machine can affect the performance of the network. Okay, so let's quickly click on this. Of course, the other resources, I think these are resources we can watch. Let's click to see what this is. Actually, this is a YouTube presentation.
In this video of Cloud Performance Atlas, I help some...
Sorry about that.
Hey guys.
Okay, so these are YouTube videos for what we're about to do today, related to network performance, and should be extremely helpful for anyone who's interested. Okay, so let's start the lab. Click here, and it asks that I pick up check to see that I'm a robot. Okay, that's done. We'll be doing everything here because nothing is to be done in the terminal. Okay, so we sign in. Whoa. I think my network is down. Let me check that out. Right. Okay. One moment, please. I'm having network issues. Let me fix this, and I should be back. Okay, we will do this again. All right, click this, select the password, um, put that put that there, and then hit enter. All right, so all right, so before you click, we should have read through this. Okay, so we'll go to the VM instance. Wow, this is not what I expected. Okay, it's a network issue. So whenever you have issues like I just did, make sure you reconnect and close the lab because the lab will be running in the background. And sometimes you may run into problems when you want to start a new lab and then you have the old lab still open and the quick labs support will need to close that lab for you to be able to proceed to do what you need to do. Okay, so let's go to the instances. Okay, okay, um, okay, cloud overview of your products. Okay, more products at the bottom here. All right, so hit that. Okay, and then we'll go to compute engine, VM instances. Okay, we're supposed to look at the instances that have been created for us using different machine types. And of course, that different machine types comes with different CPUs, ranging from a minimum of 1 to a max of 4. And of course, the RAM size too. We have one of 4 vCPUs of 3.6 gig RAM. You have the ones of 4 of 15 gig RAM and thereabout. So we are going to see the relationship between these parameters. Okay, so we have that here. Okay, right. So let me see that um, machine type. Let's look at this and select machine type so that we can see the machine types. Okay, so that's the machine type. But the values in terms of the CPUs aren't being shown. Let's see if no, there's no other thing. Zone. Okay, zone. You can get rid of zone. Okay, all right. So that's the machine type. Okay. So four, four, and based on what we have here, we assume it's the same with what we have here. So connection test. Run a quick connection test to make sure things are working. SSH in instance 1, and then do a ping to this IP address. In your new shell window, ping another one of your instances and run the following command, replacing external IP with the external IP of instance 2. So let's, instance 1 is this. Let's SSH into it. Bring this one down. And then we ping, we ping, while that is coming up, let me take the external IP address of instance 2. Then we ping that one. Okay. All right. So let's do ping. Let's just do 3. Okay, so we're good. All right, so the next thing is ping another, replace the external IP of 3. This is 3. Let's copy the external IP and then do the same thing. Ping. Okay. Invalid argument ping. Why is that? Oh, sorry. Should have a 3, number 3 here. Okay, and then ping. Okay, that works. All right. Okay, everything looks good. All right, so review the firewall rules. To see what they are, navigate to VPC Networks Firewall and then click on EPERV testing network. All right, so let's just firewall VPC. Let's click on that one. All right, let me close this and go down. Okay, let me go back here. We firewall, click on network. Okay, so okay, okay, I see one here. Okay, let's look at instructions again. Navigate to firewall. We're there, and click on the IP IPEF testing network. The firewall rule uses the following configuration. Okay, so that's this one here. Okay. Okay, the configuration is the name is this. Targets all instances in that network source from the internet. Protocols port 5000, both on the TCP and UDP protocols. Direction ingress, allow traffic. Okay, so any traffic coming from the internet on these ports are allowed into that um, network. Okay, let me see. Let's go back to firewall rule because let's go back to network. Okay. Okay, let's minimize this. There isn't any. Click on the network. Okay. Short of that, I don't see that particular network. There's no network named IPEF testing or IPF testing. I see one here. This is a firewall rule, in fact. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, exactly. That should be firewall rule, not network. Okay, so that's the rule. Allow traffic from here, from the internet. If I click this, the source is this, and the network that it affects is this one, NW-testing network. Okay, so use case number 1. In this first scenario, you will see how the size of the machines being used affects throughput that you can measure. Dober Manifesto is a video micro blogging network exclusively for pets. Animal-based videos can be uploaded worldwide and sent anywhere to be viewed and experienced. While transferring data to or from their compute engine backends, their observed bandwidth was not as high as they were hoping for. Okay, so it just sits, max is, let's call it 2 gig, 2 gigabits per second. Okay, hopefully they were expecting more than that. Task 1, try and reproduce the behavior. Two instances in the same zone were created and ifperf was run between them, both of them. Okay. Okay, so you see, this performance is even worse. Obviously, something was wrong with the test. We need more information and a deeper set of repro reproduction steps from the company. Okay, so we will look through and see that traffic between uh, instances in the same zone was actually even worse than what was seen here. Okay, the lists it just ranked around 980 megabits per second, far less than the 2 gigabits per second recorded. Okay, so SSH into 1, we're already there, and run this. Okay, all right, so we're there already, so let's run this. Okay, we're running that. Then SSH into instance 2 and run the external IP address of the first instance. Okay, so let me go to the instances. I'll clean this one. Okay. No, no instance. Let me do this. VM instances. Okay. Okay, so SSH into VM2 and then use the external IP address of instance 1. Okay, so we get the external IP and then come back here and we're asked to do this. Okay, so let's give it a sec for it to all right, so we do IPEF C and an external IP. Okay, all right. Okay, so interval transfer 2.2 gigabits, bandwidth 1.9 per second. Return to instance once and do control C. Okay, instance 1 and then do control, let's be sure. Okay, do control C. All right. All right, now go back to the compute agent console, open another SSH window into instance 6 with one CPU and very little RAM is less than 1 gig. Okay, that's 600 megabytes. That's 6. Go into 6. All right, so do this. All right, I'll come back here. Then you run this command. Okay, so that's the one. Okay, all right, so we run that command. Then instance 2, we run this command but with the external IP of 6, right? So let's pick the external IP here and let's look for an instance 2. No, this is 6. Okay, I haven't had time to find it. Okay, this is 2. So we do this once more, but this time we run with the IP address of instance 6. Okay, and then hold on to see the results. Okay, so I come back here. All right. Okay, same stays. So go back to stop the operations on 6. Okay, this is 6, Control C. All right. All right, so what happened? Bandwidth appears to have gone up, of course, 2.9 in this case. The other one 1.6. okay, when it was into instance 2. What's the size for instance 2? 3.75 gigabytes, but it's still 1V CPU as compared to 6, which was 1V CPU, but 600 megabytes for the RAM. Okay, so bandwidth appears to have gone up. It may have, in your case as well, it may have been less. In the next section, we will see how bandwidth is constrained by total core count. And that's with core counts in this small range, core count of 1, the bandwidth will never exceed 2 gigabits per second. As a result, the network speed is slow and bandwidth constrained, similar to what Doberman Festo uh, was experiencing. So when you test the 4 CPU machines in a minute, the result will be greater. Okay, so you could read on documentation here to see why the results wasn't much different. Outbound or egress traffic from a virtual machine is subject to maximum network egress throughput caps. These caps are dependent on the number of vCPUs that a virtual machine instance has. Each core is subject to a 2 gigabit per second cap for peak performance. Each additional core increases the network cap up to a theoretical maximum of 16 gigabits per second for each virtual machine. So the more VPCUs you put, you provision the greater your throughput, network throughput. So this means that more virtual CPUs in your network, the more networking throughput you can get. In order to figure out what this looks like in practice, different core size groups were set up in the same zone, and IPEF was run between them. Okay, so this is a graph representing the change in the throughputs based on the vCPUs for each of the instances that was used to run the test. How to improve results. The network that Double Manifesto has, the network that Double Manifesto has uses one vCPU's machine. Increasing the size of the core will probably help the manifesto achieve better results. Time to test theory. Okay, so we SSH into 3. Let me look out. I believe I already have 3 up and running. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3. Which of them is 3? I'm wrong. Not this one. This is 6. Let me close this one so that I'm sure which one. This is 1. Okay. This is 2, so 3 is not up. So let me leave this 2 up and then go back here and pick that of 3. Okay, that one from here. Okay, so while that's coming up, we're going to run this command in it. So let me do that. Okay, so let me hit that, have it running, and then SSH into 4. I think I will just close the other ones. Let me close this, and then go into 4. Okay. Okay. All right. So what are we to do here? Run this with the external IP of 3. So let's pick the external IP of 3. Come back here and wait for our SSH to connect. Then we do ping. So not ping, IPEF. That. All right. So we run that one. Let's see the speed. Let's give it a minute, less than a minute. All right, see, great improvement, 6.06 gigabits per second. Average bandwidth transfer is 6. The bandwidth is 5.2. Okay, now we try again with 4 threads. Okay, 4 threads. We do the same thing with 4 threads. So let's go back this time around and do P 4. Let's see what happens. Okay. Oh, okay. Sum. Okay. All right. Okay. Return to 3 and cancel the operation. Okay. So let's go back to, I don't know which one is 3, but let me check out. This is 3. Cancel the operation. All right. Okay, so in this experiment, both the server and the client were 4V CPUs, and the speed was greatly increased. Transfer rate was increased by 6.64 gigabytes per second, gigabytes, and the bandwidth by 5.7 gigabits per second. With multiple threads, the performer was able to reach the cap for that core count. Okay, so continue testing with 5, which is a higher performance than this instance type high CPU 4. Okay, so let's go to 5. Um, where's 5? That's 5. Let's search into it. Okay, so let's see how the other one was done. We did from 3, we went into 4 and ran this. So we have this working. We will do, we'll use the external IP from 5 to that of 3. I think 3 is running, so let's take the external IP. Let me look for 3. Is this 3? Yeah, this is 3. So let me run this from here, and then let me go to, this isn't 5, is it? Let me close this. I think I thought I brought this one up. Yeah. Okay, so that's 5. So iperf. Okay, let me, all right, so iperf. My network is not connecting. Okay, I can close this one. Go back here. They said I should try that with 5. I can search into it. Okay. Hopefully I don't have network issues because it's not coming up, so I suspect I have a network issues. Okay. Okay. Hmm. VM instances seem to have disappeared. Okay, that's not normal. Have I run out of time? No. Why? What is going on? Okay, let's close this. Let's open up once more. It's strange to have this. Let's pass in phone number, email. Okay, that's been passed in. Let me copy the password. I don't know what happened. Okay. All right, let's go to VM instances. Okay, let's see what we have. Oh, machine images, that's not what I want. I want VM instances, not image. Okay. Hmm. Definitely there's a problem here. The instances have disappeared. Why they have, I don't really know. Okay. Oh, that's very strange. Definitely. Okay. That's extremely strange. Okay. Something is definitely amiss. The VM instances went away. Okay. Can actually fail this. Retry. Okay, so there's no need. Let's close this. Something went wrong with the lab. So um okay, could have created this firewall rule and then have it just get full marks, but no. Let's end this lab and let's submit. I would say I'll give it a poor rating. Lab ins VM instances were deleted midway through the lab. Okay, so okay, let me do that. Okay, so that's done. Let's close this one. All right, so let's start this lab again. This time, let's refresh this page. I don't know what happened. Let's click on this, start the lab. Okay, okay, bicycle, 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 sure, bicycle. Oh, that looks like a motorbike and not a bicycle. Bicycle. Okay, all right. Okay, so let's open this and take this. Let's see whether the VM instances will be restored. Okay. If it is restored, we will quickly create ours and do some tests. Okay, so okay, we're here. We're testing 3 against 5, I believe. Okay. All right, so let's hold on. Select this and do this. Okay, these things happen from time to time. If it still occurs, then we'll reach out to those that we need to reach out to. Okay, so let's go down, compute, and then instances. Okay, so it's back. Hide this panel, close this. So let's SSH into this, then SSH into 5. Take the public IP of 3. Okay, copy that one. And then let's see what happens. I don't know which is which. Okay, so I can put this here and take this one here. Okay, this is 5. Okay, so this one we do IPEF, perf s, and this one we do IPEF c, and then we hit this, and let's see. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. So let's go back here, check the instructions. Okay, we've done that. We did for 5. Now, use case 2, Google Cloud networking with internal IPs. In the next example, you will use IPEF to test throughput speed. You'll set up one machine as the server and then point other machines to it and compare the results. Gecko Protocol, a business-to-business company offering a custom lightweight networking protocol built for gaming and other real-time graphics systems. We're seeing lower than expected throughput for the backend machines, which were responsible for transferring and transcoding large video and graphic files. Here's the result of their baseline IPEF test. Okay, 888 megabits per second. That's quite slow. Transfer 1.03 gigabytes. Okay, so when duplicating the test, the network setup was identical, but the test results were quite different. Okay, 1.9 and 2.27 gigabytes for transfer. Okay, so now create this scenario in console, SSH into 1. So let me close this 2 and then SSH into 1. That one there. Okay, while that one is doing its thing, let's go back to instructions. SSH into 2. Okay, That's 2. Okay. Now, 2, we use this. Let's get the IP, external IP of 1, which is this, and then do this. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, this goes here, and then this goes here. Okay, so this is 2, this is 1. IPEF, IPEF, and then IPEF. Okay, IP address, and then we hit that. Okay, let's see the results. Okay, 1.9. Okay, let's go back here. Okay, all right, mine was higher than this. Okay, after further discussion, it was learned that they were using external IPs to connect their machines, and the test used internal IPs. Okay, so they were using external IPs, so they got the results they got. We the test used internal IPs and got a better results. When the machines are in a network, connecting them with internal IPs will result in faster throughput. Okay, so let's use the internal IP from now. Check the connection with the internal IP. Internal IP of instance 1. Let's go back here. Check the internal IP. Okay, do this, and okay, this is 1. Okay, let me kill this. Okay, let me start this again, and then come here and do this, but this time using the internal IP of 1. Let's see what happens. Okay, all right. Okay, it increased. Okay, so generally it's best when your project has instances that are internal and communicate with each other. It's best to use the internal IP than to use an external IP to communicate between them. All right, so building on what you've learned, solving the problem of double manifesto, uh, can the network speed be improved even more by using a larger machine? Instance 2 is only one vCPU. How fast will the connection be if the machine is a little bigger or a lot bigger? Continue to test using the internal IP address, but feel free to test the external one too if you have to. Okay, so SSH into 3 and run this using the internal IP of 1. Okay, SSH into 3. Okay, okay. Then the internal IP of 1, pick it from here. All right, so do this. Let me come here. This is 2. I'll close this one. All right, come here. Okay, and I'll do this. All right, so let me kill this one. This is 1. Okay, 1 is 7. Come back here. We do IPEF this and hit that internal IP. Let's see the speed and what is transferred. Okay, 9. Oh, 8.12 gigabits. That's fast. That's definitely a good improvement. Okay, so all right, 5 will even be better. Okay, so let's pick up 5. Let me have 5 running. We're going to use the internal IP of 1. Okay, so do that. This should be it. This should be 3. Get rid of this one. Do this and then make this one up. Let's kill this one. Okay, so all right, so do this and do IPEF command IP. Let's see what happens. Okay, 7.48. So it's even faster. Okay, the throughput is even higher. Okay. All right. So that's that. Testing in your own environment. Okay, the lab doesn't cover how to test your own system, but here's additional information to take back with you. For more information on testing your own network, please read that. If you have time and you want to set up a VM to test, feel free. When you create your VMs, make sure to use the IPEF test firewall rule and tag. Test both your internal and external address. Okay, so basically that's how you test your network for network throughput, and decide the number of virtual CPUs that and the RAM size that will be needed to achieve the kind of throughput you're expecting for your setup. Okay, settings for testing your own network speed. In the console, go to this firewall and create this firewall rule. Okay, let's create a firewall rule. Let's go here. Let's do firewall. Fire firewall. Got that wrong. Okay, I got that. Firewall. The firewall is called this. Copy that. Network default targets all instances. Direction of traffic ingress. Okay, so let me close this one. Create firewall rule. Firewall rule, firewall policies. Policies are um, applied at the folder on an organizational level, while your firewall rule is applied at network level. So that's the name. Default, ingress, allow, and on every, let me take this one, TCP 5000 UDP and TCP. No, we're using tags, or and source IP is 0.0.0.0/0. Okay. Protocol TCP 5001, UDP 5001. Okay. And let's see if there's another thing. Nothing else. So we now create that. Okay. So put that one there. So check should give us a green check. We got that. Now, task 4, okay, the tendency is to get the workload as close to 100% as possible, which leaves little space for the disk to defrag. 90 to 93% if usage is healthy, but 98% usage will see performance go down, since you'll end up with lots of contention. When you're testing, if the I/O performance decays, look at throttle counters. If they are not being throttled, look at CPU usage. If it is high, there's the problem. Okay, so this is for testing yours. If you want to test, create a VM and then do your tests. The lab will allow you. What you do is create a VM and decide on, let me go to VM and show you how that would be done. Okay, instance. Okay, go here. Okay, so create an instance. You could test yours if you wanted. Um, okay, instance 7. This is 2 vPCUs. We take something bigger. Let me take this. Okay, let's go to network. Okay, let's look at that firewall rule again. Let's come down here. All instances default traffic ingress, network default. So we'll place that in that network. Let's go back up. There should be a place for, no, not here. Okay, firewall rule, advanced options. Okay, networking, host name, no, no. Okay, no, not this. Um, That's not what I want. Security management. Why can't I find network to which I would host our network interfaces? Okay. No. Okay, so okay, it's in default already. Okay, that's what we want. Default, that's what I was looking for. So let me create this. Okay, so okay, let me check and see the network in which all of them belong. Okay, okay, all right. Okay, so the external and because they are in different networks, um, okay, this is in the default network. These are the ones that are in the same network. Okay, let's see. All right, so okay, so um, you that's the IP. Sorry, that's the firewall rule you would use. But we need to have that IPEF installed on our system to be able to test that. So IPEF, let's see, let's go up to the top. Um, let's go up. Okay, let's go up to the top. Okay, it's here. Okay, so let me SSH into this. I could I'll be testing over the public IP, but I'll do this. Okay, that error has started again. Apparently, there's a limit on how long we can have these virtual machines running. So let me see. It's like I exceeded what was expected of me. If that is the case, then I'll end the lab. Okay, that's the case. So the lab is gone. So let's, but this lab isn't, it's not okay. It shouldn't be this way. I'll still leave them a bad rating because it's the same thing. Shouldn't be that way. So that's the end of the lab. And of course, you create that seventh, take the example of the network rule that you should use allowing traffic because the IPEF tool actually operates from that via those ports. So open those ports up in your VM using the firewall rule and then create another machine and install the necessary create another machine basically in that same network and then do the testing and you should see the difference between that. So let's quickly see IPEF install IPEF2 on Linux. Okay. It depends on what you use. I use Ubuntu, so okay. The update. This is for Red Hat IPEF. Okay, Ubuntu's on should be different. We could do that if we wanted to. All right, so let me close this window. Okay, so let me close this window, close this two, done, close this one. Okay, let me go to my Google Cloud Console and do out that test. Let's see, console, let's see. No, that's not what I want. GCP console. Okay, GCP console. All right, so let me just go in, use any of my accounts and try that test quickly. Okay, wants me to sign in. Did I ever sign out? Okay, I will use this. Let me use that one. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so let me go to console, try that stuff out. Default virtual machines are Debian. Okay, so I'm assuming IPEF is there by default, so I'll install it. The network rule, if I remember. Okay, I think I should remember. Okay, so let's create the network rule first. Okay, let me do network. Okay, network. I think I have, okay, I should have a default network, I believe. Okay, I can just a new tab, come here, close this. Okay, the default network is there. Now let's create the firewall rule. Okay. So I just want to do a brief test. Okay. After that, shut down everything. Okay. All right. So let me call it IPEF firewall rule. Default network allow no all instances. IP range 0.0.0.0/0. Okay. 1 UDP 1. So I'll create that one. Let me create an instance. I'm going to create two actually. Okay, that's it for that one. I'm going to create two actually. Okay, install IPEF on Debian. I'll install IPEF on Debian 10. It should be as easy as doing that. Okay. All right, so create instance. Okay, so for instance, one C. I wanted to use a big machine. This one. Okay, and then that's good. Oh, cost this much every month. We'll shut it down. Then I create another instance. 2. Let me use this. Okay, and then okay. Hopefully the IP address allows SSH traffic. Okay, SSH traffic is allowed. Okay, IPF 3 on Debian. So it's called IPF 3. Okay. All right. So this is our target. Okay, so let me SSH into that one. That one is coming up for this other guy. Okay. It says we are not ready. Why is it complaining? Have we done something wrong? Why is it complaining? Let's check it out. Oh, I exceeded my quota. Okay, so let me I exceeded my quota. So let me kill that. Okay, that's gone. Let's create another one. Wow, it's a quota limit. Let me come down here. Let me pick F1 small. This was just medium, 2 gig. Okay, let's see if they allow me. Same thing. Oh, so I can't do that. My quota has been exceeded, and so I can't do anything. So let me shut this one down. Okay, delete that one. Okay, so that's that about that. I would have used a machine smaller than that and should be able to do that. Okay, so let me create a machine. Let's see if this is 4. Okay, let's create one. Let's take 4. Let's create another one, 4 also, since the max is 8. Okay. Since our max is 8, let's do 4, 4. Let's hope we don't hit our quota. If we do, then there won't be any point testing. It's taking longer than necessary. So, okay, went through. So let's use this for where this will be going through and use this. Okay, so let me come here. Okay, this one. Okay. So 1 minute. So we do this to this. All right. So we do sudo apt update. Then if that goes well, we do sudo apt install ipef3 and yes. All right. So let's come here and do sudo apt update. Okay. Okay. Sudo apt install pef3. Do yes. 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 Okay. Here we do ipef s. Okay. Let's get the external IP of let's get the external IP of 2 and then access it from 3. Okay, so the external IP of 2, let's do internal. Let's do external first. Okay, then bring this one down. Okay, so first to do it from here. Okay, ipef3. Okay, and then ipef3 command. All right, it's listening. Oh, This is listening on port 5201. Okay, that's not what we expected to do. Go back here. This one. Okay, so edit. Let's look at that again. It says it's listening on it's listening on 5201. Okay, 5201. So let's get rid of 201. 201. Okay, then save. Okay. All right, so okay, so calm down and then let's see what will change. Okay, let me kill this and then start it all over again. Come over here, kill this and start it here. Okay, so it went through. All right. Oh, okay. All right. So average is bitrate transfer 2.25 gigabytes, speed 1.9, throughput gigabits per second. That's fast. Okay, that's for the public IP. Let's do for internal IP. Okay, so let me pick the internal IP of I believe I'm confused now. Okay, so I did okay 2, that of 2. Pick that of 2. Okay, this one, bring this one down, then start listening here again. Come back here and then okay, okay. Let's see how. Okay, okay. All right. So is it any different? Slight difference. Uh, Slight difference. Nothing much. But that's that for testing. And so with that, we'll close this one. And of course, we come here and get rid of these two. Then impression, delete these ones. Okay, so thank you for watching. Please leave your likes and have a nice day. Bye bye.